ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦਿ ਜਪੁ ਆਦਿ ਸਚੁ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸਚੁ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸਚੁ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸਚੁ ਇਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦਿ ਜਪੁ ਆਦਿ ਸਚੁ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸਚੁ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸਚੁ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸਚੁ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। So just while we're getting, I guess, the slides up on the screen, so today's session is going to be focused on if we be going through the Ardas, and in the Ardas, as has been mentioned previously, we have as we run through it, there's different sections to the Ardas, but the section that we've gone to up until now, which is Deg Bahadur Simre Kar Naun Diya that is Sabthai Hui Sahai. Everything we've read up until there, that is Gurbani. What that means is that is written directly by the Guru. Everything from that point onwards wasn't written by Guru Sahib, that was written by Guru Sikhs. So what that means is the time Guru Gobind Singh Ji might have been doing an Ardas, or when they Guru Sikhs up until Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, obviously they'd only be remembering up until Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Maharaj. Guru Gobind Singh Ji writes these as Mangalacharan, but the Guru Sikhs, they will obviously be remembering Guru Gobind Singh Ji as well, won't they? And then afterwards, because Guru Granth Sahib Ji comes, so the Guru Sikhs themselves have to add on Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and the Shahidniyan come, obviously, so a lot of the Shahidniyan that come after that as well. For us as Guru Sikhs, because of Sharda Bhavana, these become added on, and then because, Guru Sikhs come together, they pass a mata that we're going to remember different things within our Ardas, these things become added on as well. But this now becomes the first point where we veer away from this first body of Jandi Diwar. So the first we mentioned is the first section of Ardas, which is Jandi Diwar. Now we're coming away from that. We've just finished that. And this is the point now where this isn't necessarily Gurbani, but it's the next sort of facets of the Ardas. So then after Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj, of course, remember Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. And we say Sabadhai Hoy Sahai. And that may they protect us. And what I thought would be interesting is because there's many aspects you can look at the Guru Gobind Singh Ji's life, but one way we can look at it is if we just look at all the battles that they had. They had 14 different battles, but running through their battles is almost like a whistle-stop tour of Guru Gobind Singh Ji's time on this earth. Because there was a period, especially in the Guru Gaddi, there was a period, which we'll see, which was just one jang after another jang after another jang, 3 or 4 jangs within 1 year. And after their first battle, which is Bangani, what we're going to see is there was a 7-year period where there was no jang, and that was the longest time that the Sikhs went without any jang after that. So it tells a story of Guru Gobind Singh Ji, and tells a story of their Jeevani as well, but through this sort of one lens. And while the context of this is about battles, while the topic is about battles, the context behind this is something a little bit more spiritual as well. Because while Guru Gobind Singh Ji was fighting within physical battles, everything that they taught us within each of these battles, there's lessons within there as well. And a lot of those lessons are spiritual lessons. The reason for that is because if we look through Gurbani, Maharaj used the idea of battle in a physical sense to talk about our inner battles as well. Maharaj has also used these physical battles because if we accept that Guru Gobind Singh Ji is God on earth, which for myself and I believe many we do, is God on earth, then in that case, then what we must understand is all these battles, it's all part of their play. They were in control of these battles. And that these battles, whereas for us it might be a case of we feel like we are fighting, or we feel like we might be, if we were to fight in a battle, that we are challenging against somebody else. For Guru Gobind Singh Ji, there was never a challenge. There was never an enemy for Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Guru Gobind Singh is they are the creator of the world. They are God on this earth, and therefore everything they did was part of their Leela, was part of their great play to essentially set up the Khalsa Panth, for what was to come in the future. And there's also another aspect to this. And I guess there's another part of this, which is to do with the fact that Sikhi can exist in many, many different times of life, can exist in many, many different, let's call it troubles within life as well. And a lot of Sikhi is talking about how we navigate through troubles in our life. But if we stretch this to the absolute extreme, that absolute extreme being that time of battle, where if Gursikhs can exemplify Sikhi even within battle circumstances, then you can understand that Guru Sahib coming from Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj all the way to Guru Gobind Singh Ji over 200 years, then that's the final test to say, has this Sikhi been implemented? If they can keep that red, if they can keep that Sikhi, those qualities, those characteristics, even in and amongst the fact that, you know, they're within battle, they're away from their families, they're living in hard conditions, many of them are with physical ailments, maybe, you know, for many of them, injuries to their body as well, and then also in the face of death as well, where Sikhi is continually talking about conquering death in a spiritual way. Well, if you can also do that in a physical way as well, then that's just that stamp, that seal of approval to say that that Sikhi that Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj has brought, that has now been instilled within the Sikhs as well. So there's this aspect to it as well. So in terms of these battles, like I just mentioned, so internally we have these battles and externally we have these battles. Internally we have the battles that we have of the five thieves, the Kam, Krodh, the Lobh, Moh, Ahankar. This is a battle that's always forever raging within our minds. And then you have these physical battles of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. And Maharaj within Gurbani, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj within Gurbani, they use both of these ideas as well. And they always ask within these battles of Waheguru, be with us within these battles, not just within the physical battles, but within the spiritual battles as well. So Chaupai Sahib, obviously it's quite warrior Bani, but it's all about protection. Protection from the physical, protection from our physical enemies, but also our inner enemies as well. Now I'm just going to caveat something just while we go into this as well. These slides that you're going to see, they're not necessarily mine. I'm going to say now there are a few mistakes in these slides. I tried to go through and correct them, but I think there's still quite a few. So I will be caveating these slides quite a lot. But, you know, they're there, but I wouldn't take these, whatever is on here, as gospel either. So if I say something that's different to the slides, that's probably because I'm going to try and correct them as I'm going along just by talking. So, you know, just do forgive me and do keep up with me if I have to do that as well. But I guess the first point is there's all of these battles that we're going to hear about. Yes, we're going to talk about the external battles, but each of these have a spiritual meaning as well. And in having a spiritual meaning, what it means is there's a lesson that we take away from these as well. Okay, so why do wars happen? We hear in our history that there's three reasons that wars happen. And there's a sort of a political philosopher, he's like, you call him like the Machiavelli of ancient India, called Janakya. And he says there's three reasons. Yeah, you have Jar, Jodu, Jameen. Three reasons for war. One is money or wealth. Second is Jodu, women. And three is Jameen. I won't go too much into this. But if we start with money, wealth, we have, of course, if we just look at today's day and age, how many of these wars are fought for money and wealth? We see now, day and age, a lot of the wars, battles that have been fought, someone's invading somebody else for oil, somebody's invading somebody else because of, you know, you think of China, Taiwan, for example, technologies that they might have as well. A lot of it's for money and for wealth. Second is for women. So does anybody know who in the middle? I know it's not a great picture, it's not a very clear picture. Anybody know who that is? Okay, have you heard? I'm pretty sure everyone's heard of Mahabharata, right? Mahabharata, one of the obviously most ancient battles that we've heard of, and also we have Ramayana as well. So this second one is obviously this is the start of what happens in Ramayana. So Ravan, who's obviously he has a sister, and his sister's famed as being quite beautiful. Especially that they say that especially that her nose is quite beautiful, and she falls for Ram's brother, who's Lakshman, who's a jati. He's actually he's celibate, and when she asks for him to marry her, he takes it as her being quite egotistical about her beauty, and essentially he chops her nose off because of it. And this starts the sort of the series of events. You know, Sita, she becomes kidnapped, and the series of events that lead to this sort of Ramayana epic and the battle that I'm sure we've all heard of before as well. But this all starts, like I say, this all starts from women as well. And this goes back thousands of years. So we have Jar, which is money, Jodu, which is women, and then Jameen, which is land. And so when we think of Mahabharata, obviously many of us will have heard, if not the whole of Mahabharata, but at least parts of Mahabharata, the battles that happen there. But a lot of what kicks this off is when Draupadi, who is mentioned in Gurbani as well, Draupadi, there's basically a game that happens for some land. It's like this dice game between the Gauras and the Pandavas. And in this, they lose their land, and part of it is also one of the wives, which is Draupadi as well. And Draupadi does an Ardas to, in her time, obviously this being Sanatan Hindu times, to Krishnji, saying that they're going to try to, they're going to try and take my izzat away, they're going to try to take my honor away by taking my clothes off of me and try to shame me. And then, in that story, Krishna, he does kirpa, and then when they pull the dress off of Draupadi, that dress, it just carries on going. They can never quite pull it off. But all this to say that these are the three reasons why we see war and battle happening within the world. But none of these reasons, what we'll see, has ever been a reason for the Sikhs to cause battle, or for the reasons for Sikhs to be part of battle. So Sikhs have never fought for money and wealth, or at least Guru Sahib has never fought for money and wealth. Definitely, obviously, we'll hear about this later as well. Definitely not out of lust, and of course not out of land either. So this leads me on to, well, why do Sikhs fight? And there's some, you could say, rules of war or rules of practice that Sikhs have within war as well. And many of them we've probably heard. Does anybody know what I mean when I say rules of practice or rules of war, or what some of those might be for a Sikh? Any ideas? I mean, one of them is right here as well. Right in the middle, refers to that. Some of the rules of war for a Sikh. Any ideas? So yeah, fighting injustice is one of them. Another one? Protecting the vulnerable, that's absolutely right. So who would come under that in this? So the reason I'm pointing is because it's a very specific rule as well. So we've highlighted women. So if other people, what is specific about women that we see quite a lot, to be fair, within Sikh battles? Okay, no one know? Any other ones? Okay, I'll give you a few ideas. You probably all know these ones anyway. When you see them, you'll think, I knew all of these. But one of them is, these are sort of rules of war. We can ignore the right-hand side, just focus on the left-hand side. Number one is never attack from behind. We never do a sort of a strike anyone from behind. It's fighting with honor. This is the idea. Second one is, I think, about vulnerability. Never harm women, children, or the defenseless. So generally within wars, and even in today's day and age, women become like booty from war, don't they? They take the women away from when somebody has won the war. And even in today's day and age, you'll hear about, there's lots of scandals you've heard probably about British Armed Forces when they go abroad and what they do to vulnerable women there as well. But then you hear about the Sakhya, the Singhs, who, when the Mughals would come and they would invade, because obviously if they're coming from Afghanistan way and they're coming into India, the only way really is to come in through Punjab. So what they would do is when they were coming back after having looted wherever they were going to loot, they would then go and attack those Mughals, and they would take the women and they would send them back to their villages and free the women. So a part of, let's say, Gurmat, the way we think about battle as well is never against the innocents. The third one is about having as much there as possible. Now, in a battle circumstance, you might think, how can anybody have compassion? But then you think about Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, how they had gold-tipped arrows, so that if any of their arrows hit somebody, then their family could take that arrow, and because using that gold, they could either pay for their funeral, or if they were still alive, they could pay for their medical treatment as well. And then you hear about other Sakhya as well, which we're going to hear about today as well, about Bhai Kanhaiya Ji when they would feed water. You would hear about Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj when they killed Bende Khan, and then rather than making him suffer, they go over to Bende Khan, they shield him from the sun, and they say, read your kalama, read your final rites. It's always defensive. It's never offensive. We're not, the Guru Sahib, which we'll see, never attacked first. And that, what I mentioned earlier, the sort of characteristics of a Gursikh, the character of a Gursikh, the Rani Bani of a Gursikh, even in times of battle, these shouldn't falter. Yeah. So we hear about Guru Sahib when we were at Sarsa Nadi, and Guru Sahib sits and they do Asadivar Kirtan, and they never miss their Nityanem as well, as much as they can. So the practices of Sikhi, remain within battle as well. And that's important because in today's day and age, we sometimes say that Sikhi is impractical. And what I'll always say to that is, if it's practical to the point where it's even being done within battle situations, it's even being done where you have an enemy attacking you, then in what other situation, what has changed from then to now that makes it impractical now? Surely if it's practical at the extreme being battle and war, then it should still be practical now as well. So the issue with Sikhi isn't the impracticality, which some people like to say. It's not an impracticality. It actually comes down to our willingness to be able to do it. Because if we have a willingness to do it, then there's nothing impractical about it. Okay. So I'm not going to go into these ones too much because I think that list is a little bit wrong. But if I just quickly shout out, can anybody name some of the jangs, the battles of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, just before we go into it? Just shout them out. You don't need to put your hands. Bangani, that's the first one. Any other ones? Any other battles? Sorry? Logar, yeah, there's the one that happens at Logar as well. We'll go into that. Any other ones? Okay, so potentially we might learn some of them. Surely we know the ones towards the end. Muqtarjang, that's right, Muqtarjang. Any other ones? Oh, the Bibi are taking it all, let's ask the things. Chamkaur di Gadi, they've not left you the easy ones though. Okay, there's some we'll learn about three or four of them. They all get banded up under Anandpur Sahib, but we'll try and split them up a little bit as much as we can. Okay. So the first one, which we mentioned, was Bangani. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, there's a bit of a history to this, which I'll talk about, which maybe we've heard of. And the history goes back to Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji. Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj, a Raja comes to Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji. And they ask Maharaj for a son. And you know, when I talk about Maharaj's Leela, Maharaj's play, look at how they're setting this play in motion all the way from the start. So before Guru Gobind Singh Ji is even in this world, Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj is already setting the foundation stone for what's going to be their first jang, and then goes on to be 13 more jangs as well. This Raja comes and he says that I want a son, and Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj, they have, which in those days you might have a ring which has a seal on it, and then obviously they would put that into their letters to show that this was the royal seal. And he makes a mark with his seal on that Raja's lap. And he says, you'll have a son and he'll be born with this insignia. Later, his son is born, and his son is born with that little symbol on his head. And as he grows up, this son, he starts to ask his parents, what is this mark that's on my head? And his mother, because his father, I believe he passes away, his mother tells him that this is the sign of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj. And when he asks that he wants to meet Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji, they say that Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji has since given Shahidi, but now Guru Gobind Singh Ji sits on the throne. And so they decide that they're going to, because now they're Raja as well, their name is Raja Ratan Rai. Raja Ratan Rai decides that he's going to go to Guru Gobind Singh Ji, but he's not just going to go to Guru Gobind Singh Ji, he's going to bring as many gifts as he can. So he spends quite a long time collecting many different gifts. One of those gifts is what we call like a Panchgala Shastra, which is like 5 Shastra in one. But one especially is what we call the Prasadi Hathi. And this is a Prasadi Hathi, it's like a white elephant. You'll see it sometimes. If you look at paintings of Guru Gobind Singh Ji, maybe look out for it because it's quite a well-known elephant. This Hathi is quite popular because it's known to be able to do certain tasks, like it could do Jod Sahib of the Raja, for example. So it's quite ostentatious, but it was Raja Ratan Rai's way of wanting to, come and meet Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And they come to Bangani, and then they give all these gifts to Guru Gobind Singh Ji. But when the hill Raja, so these Raja that were in the Pahariyan, they were in the hills, when they start to see that there's this Guru Sahib who has now, he's got these new Shastra, he's got this Hathi, he's got these armies, he's got this Ranjit Nagara, so we have the Nagara upstairs, he has his Nagara that he plays as well. They're thinking that this is somebody who's now gearing up for war, and he's right on our doorstep. If we let him grow too big, he's going to come one day attacking us. He's going to go too big for us as well. And Raja Bhim Chand, he's one of the key figures in this. He sends message to Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj that, kind of know your place. It's one of them kind of messages, know your place. Says to Guru Gobind Singh Ji, know your place. You're not a king. Yes, you're a soldier. You've got military training, but what you're doing at the moment, it's an attack on all the other Raja here, and there's people who are going to get quite upset. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji, what they do is, under the advice of their mother, Mata Gujri Ji, they do leave Bangani to Ponta Sahib. So obviously we know that they spend a lot of time at Ponta Sahib, but unfortunately that trouble, that doesn't really leave them, because Bhimchand now, his son's going to get married, and when they set the wedding, he's still got this animosity towards Guru Gobind Singh in his mind. When he's going to get married, what they do is they set the wedding just past Ponta Sahib, so if they want to get there, they have to go through Ponta Sahib. So he asked Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, can we bring our wedding procession Abrar through your city to get to our wedding? But their plan was going to be that they were going to bring the Janata, they were going to bring all the wedding procession, but it was going to be a disguise for the army to come and attack Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji knew this, so what he said is, you can come, but you can only bring five people within the wedding procession with you. And eventually, when they come, so he abides. But after that, when this is finished, he, Raja Bhimchand, because after this, he, goes to Aurangzeb, he courts favour, and in courting favour, he gets favour of Aurangzeb, and then they begin the first attack on Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. And this becomes the first battle that Guru Gobind Singh Ji fights. And it's interesting because at this point, there's a lot of people that do leave Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, like, some of the Sikhs that are around, that they probably thought we weren't really here for this. And in a way, it's almost kind of, because when things are peaceful, it's quite easy to follow a path. When things become tough, it becomes a lot harder, doesn't it? So people leaving means that Maharaj is kind of, it's almost filtered out those people that weren't going to stay with Maharaj till the end. But interestingly, there's some people that do stay with Maharaj. Obviously, a lot of good Sikhs do stay, but there's some people, not necessarily just from the Sikh faith, that stay as well, but from other faiths as well. So the first picture we got there, which is Bir Buddhu Shah, who we hear about quite a lot. Bir Buddhu Shah is, as the name suggests, isn't a Sikh. They're actually a Muslim, but they had a lot of love for Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj as well, and they, along with their children as well, so they didn't just fight themselves, they would send their sons to fight with them as well. So there's one thing giving your own life, but to actually risk your own children's life for the Guru, who you could say isn't even of their faith, shows that pratap of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj as well. And the second one is not the photo there, but so there we have Baba Sri Chand, who is the son of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. And as we know, Baba Sri Chand, they don't really follow the line of Sikhi that Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj preaches, but they do start their new path, which is the Udasi Samprada. And the Udasi Samprada, they are, they're very spiritualists, very respected as well, and they do keep close links with Sikhs as well, keep close links with the Guru as well. And within their sort of Samprada comes Mahant Kripal Das. Mahant Kripal Das, he is another one who fights with Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, but because they're a Mahant, they're like a sort of, they're more of a sort of saintly disposition, they don't really know how to fight, they've got a stick. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji, they write about this in their Shabd Bachitra Natak. They praise Mahant Kripal and they say the person who didn't know how to fight, that with his stick, that he broke so many skulls in that battle with his stick, and they became so happy with Mahant Kripal Das as well. So you can see the battles of Guru Gobind Singh Ji, we talk about the Singhs, but there are also other people within these battles that are fighting along as well. And within this battle, very, very famous sort of epic highlight that happens that many of us have probably heard about, which is their battle, sort of their face-off with Harichand. And what happens is Harichand, he challenges Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, and Maharaj says that you can send, you can shoot your arrows my way. I'm standing here for you to shoot your arrows my way. And they send 3 arrows. One just goes past their ear, one misses them, and one just hits just off their Kamar Kasa as well. And when that one hits off their Kamar Kasa, so just past their, you could say their stomach, then they take out 1 arrow and they finish Harichand right there and then. And they write about this in their Shabd Bachitra Natak, which is almost like their autobiography. Guru Gobind Singh Ji writes about their battles within there as well. And they say, Ki Bhai jeet meri, kripa kaal keri. And we've heard the shabad Jabbar Bana Lagyo, Tabar Rosa Jagyo, that when the arrow hit me, at that point I got that rose, I got that warrior spirit. And they say that now I've been victorious within this battle as well. Why? Because of the blessings of God as well. And interestingly, just another point on this as well. So just shortly after this, or around this time, is where Baba Ajit Singh Ji, the first Sahibzada Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, comes to this world as well. And when they come to this world, because of the victory that they find in Pangani Yudh, they give the name to Baba Ajit Singh Ji. That is when they name Baba Ajit Singh Ji. Ajit meaning the one who can't be defeated. And because they come back undefeated from this battle, this is where they name Baba Ajit Singh out of the victory from this battle as well. Any questions? Okay. So that's the first sort of major battle, and the next ones, because they come like quite suddenly one after another. We're not going to go into depth into all of them. It's probably like this is probably your one of the sort of the bigger battles, and then you have a few which are a bit smaller. You have Logar, which is a little bit bigger, and then obviously the ones at Anandpur side we see as well. So some of the next ones we'll probably just go through a little bit quickly until we get to some of the slightly larger ones, and also because if we go into them in a lot of depth, then we'll probably be here probably all night as well. Okay. So then we have the next, and like I said, just please, some of these dates especially, I think that some of the dates weren't quite right, so please just ignore some of these dates as well. Okay, so the second jang, Nadon. This does actually happen a couple of years after Pangani Yudh. So what happens now is that Raja Bhim Chand previously had fought against Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. Raja Bhim Chand, now him and also a lot of the other Pahari Raja as well, they're now fearing from Aurangzeb that Aurangzeb, his powers are spreading and he's attacking more and more of their people. And in that, Raja Bhim Chand, the one who previously fought against Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, now leads a band of Pahari Raja to come to Guru Gobind Singh Ji and ask for forgiveness and also ask for their protection and shelter. And in asking for their protection and shelter, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj offers their protection and shelter, which is interesting. And when I talk about spiritual messages within their battles as well, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, the person who had come and attacked them, obviously had threatened them, attacked them. You could say, other people might say that they had insulted them. For the Guru, obviously, it's a bit of a different story. That how could somebody ever forgive them, number one, let alone forgive them, but then also go to fight for them as well. And it's interesting because I think the extremes of battle, that when your moral compass is stretched to that sort of level and you see what somebody is about, where Guru Gobind Singh Ji, in the extremes of battle, they are still displaying that high moral character as well. But whereas maybe we as people, even maybe as Sikhs as well, are quite slow to forgive, maybe don't forgive at all as well, that we, if we have something against somebody, maybe we're going to keep that on their head, and we're going to make sure that person never recovers from that thing if they made a mistake as well. Whereas the Guru Sahib, even you could say something that is unforgivable, even then they not only forgive, but then they go to fight for that person as well. And this is the quality of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj as well, forever merciful. They have complete mercy. And when they come, they say that we will fight for you as well. So Alaf Khan, he comes from the sort of the Mughal side as well. I should say the Pahari Raja, there's Mughal Pahari Raja, it's not just Hindu Pahari Raja as well. And what you have is this Raja Dayal, he challenges Guru Sahib. And when he challenges Guru Sahib, you hear about Guru Sahib, how they fire their arrows, and we hear about in Ityas about when Guru Sahib would fire an arrow, it wouldn't just go through one person, it would go through multiple people. They had so much power within their arrows. And that how their bow, their sort of the drawstring, the power needed to do that was about 225 kilos, equal to lifting 225 kilos. Such was the strength of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj as well. Then some of the sort of next jangs that come after this. So after Nadon, there's about 7 years of peace that happens after Nadon. So this is probably the longest period of time that the Sikhs see peace after this. But then after this, Dilawar Khan, who's one of Aurangzeb's generals, he sends, who was part of the previous battle as well, After 7 years, he sends his son, Naim Khan, to avenge that defeat that happened. But what happens is, because they're attacking in winter, some of the soldiers already feel like, they already feel like it's going to be a difficult battle. And by Adam Singh, he is one of the he's sort of one of the he's the Beredar, and when he's a Beredar, he sees that the army is coming, and the Nagara is played, and the Sikhs, they become, when we talk about Tiyar, which is a term that we use quite a lot, which is ready upon ready. Even after 7 years of peace, you might say, even then they're still ready upon ready, right? So you think about, after 6 months, you might still be on high alert. Maybe somebody will come and attack. A year, you might still be on high alert. After 2 years, you think it's probably all right. No one's going to come attack now. After 3 years, you're probably definitely thinking, yeah, the waters have cooled. There's not going to be anything that happens now. After 7 years, you imagine still the things are still tiyar bar tiyar, and they're still ready upon ready for any battle that comes. And I guess then the lesson becomes that I go back to it again, where we talk about, is the martial part of Sikhi really needed? We haven't fought these kind of battles in some years now. But it becomes about being, if we are ready, then we don't have to get ready. Being ready at all times means you don't ever have to get ready. And when the enemy comes, whether that be physically or where I talked about mentally as well, then you are ready to attack that enemy. And if we take that from a spiritual point of view as well, if the Sikh is always ready, armed with a Nityanem, if they're always armed with a Simran and their Seva, then when those vices, the enemy being those vices, ever come to the mind, then they're already ready with their spiritual tools as well. And what happens is, when they see how ready the Singhs are, that they lose their nerve a little bit, they retreat, and instead what they do is they attack this nearby sort of bind, and they pillage that bind as if to sort of feel a little bit good about themselves, to say that, they didn't want to go back empty-handed, so they went just to one nearby bind and they just pillaged that bind. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji, they condemn that, and they talk about how they just pillaged innocent people. We talk about how the Guru Sahib always defends the innocent as well. How they he almost shamed them, saying, you came to attack a lion, but you went and you couldn't do that. You sort of went back and you've pillaged this innocent bind as well. And it talks about, Guru Gobind Singh Ji talks about in their Bani about how it's almost like somebody talks about how they're going to have a great meal, and instead they just put some stones on the firing pan and they eat those stones instead. Then we have the battle, which is a Gulair. And what happens is, these are now coming like sort of one after another now. They're coming quite thick and fast. Some of these within the same year as well. So this is a really sort of battle heavy period for the Khalsa. Or not the Khalsa at this point, just before the Khalsa is formed. You get Naim Khan. He had obviously gone back to his father, Dilawar Khan, and had said that, we didn't manage to lay a glove on Guru Gobind Singh Ji or any of the Sikhs. And so what he does is, he sends his general, Hasan Khan, with an even larger force, and on the way, they pillaged different villages as well. And what they do is, they're going to try and build almost like a coalition of different Bahari Raji as well. And they tried to co-opt somebody called Gopal Chand as well. But Gopal Chand, he's a bit of a Shardalu. He doesn't really want to attack Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. So what happens is, Guru Sahib, they send somebody called Bhai Sangatiya, and he goes and basically intercepts this whole battle from actually taking place with some things, and he goes and he kills Hasan Khan, and 7 other people are shaheed with him at that point as well. And it's at this point Ajmer Chand, who is the son of Bhim Chand, he flees from the sort of the Sikh he's with the Bahari Raja, but obviously Bhim Chand, he'd come under Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. And Maharaj, they talk about these battles, about how the Singhs went and they fought, and the battle never actually came to their doorstep in Gulair. And they say, "Ke rakh liyo hamko jagrai, loh kata antai brasai." They say, "Maharaj, tusi meri rakhya ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ, you've saved me to such a..." Because this is the thing, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, even then they're showing the Nimrta, even then they're showing that the power behind everything that is happening is through Akal Purkh Vaheguru. And there's never that sort of bravado of saying that, anybody else might say that, yes, it was my Singhs, or yes, it was me who did this. Maharaj still attributes everything to Akal Purkh Vaheguru and their power. And they say, "Maharaj, you are the saviour here today. You have done the rakhya of us." And they say, "Loh kata antai barasai." They say it rained iron, i.e. like almost there was a rain of weapons that was coming, there's a rain of violence that was coming, but you made that rain happen somewhere else. You saved me and made that rain happen somewhere else by Sangatia obviously going and killing Hassan Khan before they even came to their doorstep. And what happens is another period happens where the Lava Khan he tries to attack this. Again, these things they get stopped before Guru Gobind Singh Ji is even there. So the Mughals, what happens is Bahadur Shah, which is Aurangzeb's obviously from Aurangzeb's family, Aurangzeb he sends Bahadur Shah to be the new governor of Punjab. And in sending Bahadur Shah, his idea was that, the Bahari Raja, they haven't really managed to keep the peace there. Let's get our own people there. They'll keep the peace. But Bahadur Shah, as we know, he becomes the Shardal of Guru Gobind Singh Ji as well. And what he does, instead of attacking Guru Gobind Singh, is he orders everybody that no one is to attack Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Instead, go and attack the Bahari Raja. So again, the battle is stopped even before it comes to the Khalsa. But then on the second try, the Lava Khan, because he's tried multiple times, it's one of those things, he's just obsessed, he can't stop trying to attack. He sees now, obviously this is around the time that 1699, around the time that the Khalsa Panth has been formed as well. He sees this as a huge threat. He tries again with his commanders as well. By Uday Singh, who we hear much about and we'll hear about later as well, about his feats in battle. He cuts off Alam Chand's arm. And by Alam Singh is another Gursikh, who is one of the closest of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. He kills Balia Chand as well in this battle. Okay, so Kiratpur Jang. So this is where we're sticking around the sort of Anandpur Sahib location now in Kiratpur. So we hear this is the battle where Bende Khan, he comes with... He comes with another commander. Sorry, the name's escaping me right now. But Bende Khan comes with another commander. And in this battle, by Uday Singh, by Alam Singh, they are the generals who are sort of leading the attack from the front. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji, because as the commander would do, they normally stay towards the back. And in staying towards the back, so they can see the whole battle in front of them and they can command the forces to go where they want the forces to go as well. And Bende Khan, he almost sends a challenge to Guru Gobind Singh's way and says that you sent all your Singhs out in front, but you stayed in the back, like a bit like a coward. Bende Khan calls him a coward, saying that you stayed in the back and you're not even coming to the battlefield. There's another one as well. There's two. This is a different one. Bende Khan, he comes and he fires again. He fires 2 arrows towards Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj in that challenge. When Guru Gobind Singh Ji challenges him, Guru Gobind Singh Ji takes his arrow and he finishes him there and then. And this is where we hear about Maharaj, they come and they do a daya upon Bende Khan as well. Okay, coming towards a little bit at the end now. Next one, which you've heard about here, is about the Battle of Lohgarh as well. So, Battle of Lohgarh, what happens is, this is before the main siege of Anandpur happens, there are some attacks that happen just before them as well. And before this siege happens, the Bahari Raja and Aurangzeb, because now they're coming together more and more, they demand that Guru Sahib leave Anandpur Sahib, but Guru Sahib obviously refuses. And there's an attack that's going to happen of about 10,000 army men against Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. And Baba Ajit Singh Ji, around 16 years old, they command a battalion of around 800 Singhs in this army. But what they do, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, is they say to the Singhs, is that when you go and you attack against the Mughals, make sure you don't go any further than the attacking lines. Make sure you just sort of stick there and come back. But the Singhs, they become a bit emboldened by their victory when they go and they attack all of these forces, and they're just about to go, and then they see that Guru Gobind Singh Ji is on top of the Qila, looking at them, seeing if they're going to follow what they're going to say, and they get that sort of shame that they're about to go, and then they end up coming back. And there's a bit of a lesson in there that Guru Gobind Singh Ji, the more battles they win, the more and more emboldened they become. But Guru Gobind Singh Ji is continuously teaching them that no matter how many battles you win, no matter how many people you overcome, no matter how powerful you think you are, when you come outside of the hukum of the guru, then you'll lose it all as well. As long as you remain within the hukum of the guru, you will receive it all. As soon as you come outside of that hukum, you lose it all as well. And it's within this Logar Jang which we hear about, for example, like by Bajittar Singh, we hear about the Sakhi where the Mughals, to try and break down the fortress, they send this iron-clad elephant. They make this elephant drunk. They had put iron armor on it, and they're going to send it to go and knock down the walls of Logar as well. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji, when they see that this is what's going to happen, they tell one of the soldiers, Duni Chand, they say that because he's quite a big person, they say that just like they've got a Hathi, you're like our Hathi, you're going to go out there and you're going to fight against this Hathi. And Duni Chand, within the night, because he becomes quite scared, he jumps over the Gila and he makes a run for it. And by Bajittar Singh, he is then looked upon by Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj and says that Duni Chand has left, and Bhai Bajittar Singh, who's he's a lot smaller than Duni Chand is, he's quite small, but Bhai Bajittar Singh is chosen then to go and fight the Hathi. Where other people might think there are much bigger, much more capable soldiers than Bhai Bajittar Singh, whose main sort of, it wasn't really where you would have seen him to fight. Bhai Bajittar Singh is chosen for this battle, and Bhai Bajittar Singh does an Ardas to Guru Gobind Singh Ji that, Maharaj, this isn't really something that's within I'm not really going to be able to do this. I'm not a big soldier like many of the things that you have here. They ask for blessings. And Guru Sahib, they give him the blessings, they give him the Nagani Barsha, they give him the spear, and Bhai Bajittar Singh, as we hear in the Itihas, they go and they use their Nagani Barsha and they hit the elephant on the forehead. That elephant then turns around and it goes and it attacks the Mughal forces instead. And we also hear in these Sakhi about Bhai Kanhaiya Ji. Bhai Kanhaiya Ji being a Gursikh who, as we hear, they would go out, they would feed jal, water, to the enemy soldiers as well. And when the Singhs asked why he's doing that, and they brought him to Guru Gobind Singh Ji, and Bhai Kanhaiya Ji says that I see the light of God within everybody, how can I see anybody suffering? And Guru Gobind Singh Ji becomes so pleased with them that eventually they actually bless them with their own Banth as well, which we know today has been the Seva Banthis. So a lineage comes from Bhai Kanhaiya Ji being the Seva Banthis, which just last week there was the Barsi of Baba Sham Singh Ji, the great Kirtani who did Kirtan at Darbar Sahib for over 70 years, over 120 years old when they left this world. And even till today, their sort of lineage in the Seva Banthis that sort of carries on as well. We then have Nirmolgarh Sahib as well, Nirmolgarh Jang, as well. And in this battle, this is where, we see Shahidiyan of other Gursikhs as well. We have Diwan Sahib Singh, who is the son of Bhai Mati Das Ji, who was obviously Shaheed with Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji. Bagh Singh, Sukha Singh, they're the sons of Bhai Mani Singh Ji as well. Bhai Kalyan Singh, they're the son of Bhai Dayala Ji, who was Shaheed with Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj as well. And we have Bhai Kushhal Singh as well, who is the son of Bhai Makhan Shah Lubhana, which we heard about in last week's as well. Okay, I'm going to go through these quite quickly now as well. We have another one which is at Basodli, and this is when Raja Dharampal tries to trick Guru Gobind Singh Ji, saying that you'll be safe if you stay here. In the end, it became a plot that the Bahari Raja came and tried to attack them when they stayed there as well, but Guru Sahib, forever ready, still did not let that attack occur. And then there is the, so if we just skip ahead, there's one sort of battle which I do want to really draw a bit of attention to, which maybe we've not heard of, because it's a battle that almost didn't happen, but it's interesting to see the Pratap of Guru Gobind Singh Ji within this one as well, about the power of Guru Gobind Singh Ji, and about how even the enemy falls at their feet as well. So what happens is, there is somebody called Said Khan, right? And he's instructed to go and fight against Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. And in going to fight against Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, he's actually the brother-in-law of Peer Buddhu Shah. Peer Buddhu Shah, he's the ally of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. So he is, and on his way, when he's going to go fight against Guru Gobind Singh Ji, he meets with his sister, so Peer Buddhu Shah's wife. And she says to him that don't go and fight Guru Gobind Singh Ji, he is God on this earth. That if you go, not only will you be defeated, but it will be such a great sin on your head that you went to go fight against God on this earth as well. And when he goes, Said Khan, there's also two other soldiers as well who have got battalions that are going to go fight against Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And eventually, Husayn Beg, them two come to a clash and they start fighting each other about who's going to be the one that's going to go and lead the general. So now you've got Mussalman fighting against Mussalman about who's going to go and fight against Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And eventually they sort of stop this battle and they decide, we're going to go, we've both got the same aim, and they go towards Guru Gobind Singh Ji. But Said Khan, upon seeing Guru Gobind Singh Ji, they see the glow from Guru Gobind Singh Ji's face, and they see how great Guru Gobind Singh Ji is, that they just leave their shastra on the floor, they leave their weapons on the floor, and they bow to Guru Gobind Singh Ji and says, I can't believe I ever even thought about coming to attack somebody like Guru Gobind Singh Ji as well. So many battles were stopped, even just like this. And this is what I talk about, the Leela, the play of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj as well. When they want, they'll make a battle happen. For whatever reason it is. Whatever reason they want the battle to happen, they'll make that battle happen. And when the battle isn't needed, they'll put it within the mind, even of the enemy, that this battle isn't going to happen as well. And this happens many times within our history as well. Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji, the 7th Guru, they're told to keep 2200 Sawar, to keep 2200 horsemen. They said that you'll never need it. Guru Har Gobind Sahib says you'll never need it, but make sure you keep them with you anyway. On 3 occasions, the Mughals tried to come and attack Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji. Not one of them happened. Either the horses got cholera, or the general died on the way, or something would always happen. But Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji, because this was Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji said that you'll never ever need to fight in a battle, but make sure you stay ready anyway. And even when people would come to attack Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji, the battle would stop before it even reached them. Such is the play of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. And then we sort of come to the end now of the talk, the last few battles, which is the final few battles of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, which we hear about when the siege, I'm going to go through this quite quickly, but we hear about the siege of Anandpur Sahib. And when Anandpur Sahib is laid siege to, what happens is that they say to Guru Gobind Singh Ji, this is kind of, you can say like the Mughals and the Bahari Raja, this is their last throw of the dice, you might say. We're going to chuck everything at this. They call thousands, hundreds of thousands, up to 1 million soldiers comes in the end, to just, because of how many times they've lost against Guru Gobind Singh Ji, they just need to finally think in their mind that they need to win, finally. And they come and they lay siege to Sri Anandpur Sahib. And as we hear in Itihas, that Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj refused to leave, knowing that even though they have sworn their Quran, even though they've sworn the Holy Cow, knowing that they will never ever knowing that they'll never ever be true to their word, they refuse to leave. But eventually when Band Singh come to Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj and they say that, we have to leave, all the things have kind of made, we're all in agreement that we want to leave, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, even though they had taught them these lessons before, like we've seen now, haven't we? They taught them the lessons that if you had stayed in the Agya of Guru Gobind Singh, then you will be victorious in everything. If you understand that all of this is just a test, that Guru Gobind Singh is saying that I'm making this test, I'm making this whole creation, they are making this whole creation spin. They are making this whole situation happen. They see what's going to happen if they stay. They say that if you stay, we'll have Khalsa Raj. But the things even then, at that time, not because I want to say their weakness, because we know that these are great things as well, but because everybody may have these moments, and because they come under such hard times, they say to Guru Sahib, that we really want to leave here now as well, and we want to all leave. And when they leave Sri Anandpur Sahib, the cavalry is attacked by the Mughals. They don't stay true to their word, and they're put on sort of red alert until they reach Sarsa Nadi. And this is this throwing and thrashing river in the middle of winter as well, where the Parvar Vishwara happens. But obviously there's the battle that happens just before that at Sarsa Nadi, which when Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj sits down to do Asa Diwar Kirtan, and they sent by Uday Singh and by Baba Ajit Singh Ji to go and fight against the soldiers. And they say that while that Asa Diwar was happening, until that Asa Diwar finished, then the battle carried on going. That power of that Asa Diwar, that power of that Gurbani fueled those Gursikhs to continue going. Eventually Guru Gobind Singh Ji, they cross the river and you have the Parvar Shura, the Shote Sahibzade, they go one way, Mata Sahib Kaur, she goes another way towards Delhi, and Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, obviously they go towards Jamgaur di Gadi, and we get the Battle of Jamgaur Sahib as well. Jamgaur di Gadi, where Baba Ajit Singh Ji, Baba Jujhar Singh Ji, they give Shahidi, all these things they give Shahidi. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj is asked by the Singhs, please leave the Jamgaur fort because there's a million soldiers outside. There is only one of you, but we can't even make one of you, but you can make many of us. If you leave here today, this is our wish. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, they leave Jamgaur di Gadi, not quietly. They announce that they're leaving to the Mughal soldiers as well, that if anybody wants to come and get them, that they can. They leave into Machivara jungle, which we know they spend time within Machivara jungle, without any shoes on their feet, with just them and their horse, and they write the Shabad Mitra Pyare Nu Hal Muridan Da Kehna. And eventually we come to what is the final battle, which is after the Sakka, where they become Ujda Beed, for example, as well. Eventually, we reach this point where Guru Gobind Singh Ji is saying that we still have to take the fight to the Mughals. Even after all of these battles, even after so much has been lost, even after you think, Sahibzade have been shaheed, many of these Sakke that have happened, even then Guru Gobind Singh Ji believes so strongly in the need for Dharm Yudh, in the belief that they need righteous war to fight against the oppressor. Even then, they go and they want to continue that fight as well. Even when anybody else might say that all else has been lost, it's time to stop, Guru Gobind Singh Ji continues. And as we know, we hear that there was 46 who had written a letter to Guru Gobind Singh Ji saying that we can't embark on this any more longer with you. We can't do this anymore. We've seen all this death. We can't do it anymore. We want to go home to our families. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji says that if you're going to leave me, then write on a piece of paper now that you are not my Sikh and I'm not your Guru anymore. Those Guru Sikhs, they write this letter, they write what we call the Vidava to Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. They go back to their homes. As they go back to their homes, their wives who are there, they become ashamed, their families become ashamed that they have, these who were Sikhs have turned their back on Guru Sahib. And my Baggo with a band of the Bibbiya, they say that we will go and we will defend Guru Sahib as well. Those 40 of them becoming ashamed, they decide that they will go and they will fight as well, realizing what they had done wrong. And in going back to fight for Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, they give Shahidi just before they decide that they're going to intercept the attack that's going to come from the Mughals. In intercepting the attack, they give Shahidi there and then. And when Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj asked them, what is it that you want, as they're on their dying breaths, they say that we don't want anything, we don't want life in this world. That letter that we wrote to you, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, to say that we are not your Sikhs anymore, please tear up this letter, because life without you is so much more painful than death with you. Death with you is complete bliss, but life without you, that is complete horror. So please rip up that letter, because we have those things who've been fighting from Jang 1 to Jang 14. Many of these things. Jang 1 to Jang 14. We've heard about Bhai Alam Singh. We've heard about all these Guru Sikhs. Everything they went through side by side with Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, in their minds of the Jali Mukti was, we've been through all this. How could it even come into our minds that we would ever leave this, that we would ever leave you as well? And Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, then they rip up that letter that was given to them by those Jali, and we hear now that they are now referred to as the Jali Mukti as well. And in fighting all of these battles, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, I've gone through this, and I know I've done a lot of talking today, maybe more than I normally do as well. And I've gone through it very, very quickly, but only because there's just so much to say as well. In going through all this, what really stands out is, we could talk about Maharaj's, the martial skill. We could talk about all these things, right? But we know about these things. But what stands out, because anybody could, people can have good martial skill, but who can have the great moral character, the great, the loyalty of the Singhs, the great love that Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj has always showed? Who can have that other than God themselves? Only Akal Purkh Waheguru on this earth, in my view, in my opinion, can show that level of character even in those sort of circumstances as well. Great is Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. Great is their gift to us in making us part of their Khalsa Panth, making us part of their family. And great is the path that they have left for us as well. So this is the sort of the end of this talk. Like I said, I do apologize. I'm sure there probably will have been mistakes in this. I've kind of been battling with this with these slides that on. I know that there's a lot of mistakes within this as well. But thank you for bearing with me as well. If there's no questions, then I'm going to say Fateh here. Please do forgive any mistakes. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.